All right, it appears that the Houston Texans were just cheated by the NFL once again. If you're new to the channel, we're Detroit Lions fans, but we have this channel dedicated to teams that just don't get the love and respect from the national media and sometimes just don't get taken seriously. I feel like from the NFL. I'm going to prove that in this video. So we're going to get to injury reports and a couple things down the road here, or at the end of this video about the Houston Texans. But let's take a look at this. First, we all know about the suspension to your linebacker, and this one, just again, I just want to give you my opinion from an outsider's perspective. Looking at this, it's like, man, bad hit, didn't love it. Maybe a suspension. It's a fine. That's fine. Fine is fine. And maybe a 1-game suspension, but 3 games just felt rough, okay? That just did. So just kind of felt personal, like attack on this guy. I didn't see a reason why it should have been 3 games. But the good news out of that, and I'll get to one other thing, the main thing on this video of why it looks like the Texans are just being cheated again is, I'll get to that in just a second, but I thought the Houston Texans handled this really well. So when D'Amico Ryans got back, he said, it's happy to be back. Good break. Get away from everybody as we move forward in our football season, and it feels great to be playing meaningful football. Then, of course, he's asked about it. He's like, it's going to hurt, but we're pressing forward. Nothing we can do about it. And I thought this was really good. It's time to move on. But you did stand up for your guy. Your general manager came out and said something. Head coach said something. The player himself says, putting out some tweets and some different things. I think that's absolutely appropriate, but now it is time to move on. So I think that was great. Here's the next thing that the more and closer now that we're finally going to get into it, I feel like this is just kind of, it's not personal to the Texans, I don't think. It just happens to be that the Texans are the one that they're going to suffer from this. Now, I know they get the late bye, so that was really nice. But here's a tweet from the Texans themselves that say, 3 games in 11 days. Usually, just on a normal thing, right? You played 2 games in 14 days. So 3 games in 11 days is just a lot. So you play on Sunday, then on Saturday, and then on Wednesday, Christmas Day. Now, let me know in the comments, right? I'm just giving you an outsider's perspective. Maybe you're a fan of the Texans and you absolutely love this because it is meaningful football. It's when you're kind of off work, off school and all that. And it's like, give it to me. I love it. Netflix, and let's do this. Oh, they misspelled Netflix. Right? Or am I looking at that weird? Yeah, they did. Right, so let me know in the comments if it's like, man, this is just, I get what they're doing, but I also don't love it. Or if it's like, bring it on. This is great. More the better. The reason I don't like this is because you are playing meaningful football, which is good, but it's like, man, this doesn't feel like a competitive, it feels like a competitive disadvantage to other teams. I mean, and you're playing, oh, by the way, Kansas City and Baltimore during those 2 rough stretches there. So it feels to me like the Houston Texans are getting the wrong end of this thing. The NFL is trying to come out. They don't give a crap anymore about the NBA. Remember, they always gave the NBA Christmas Day. It's like, here you go, it's your day. And they're like, nope, not anymore. Now, which is really weird because it's a Wednesday, right? If it was on a Thursday or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, any other day, it's like, I get it, NFL, it's kind of your weekend, but it's on a Wednesday and the NFL still says we want it and we're taking over Christmas, and they will. But the Texans are the ones that have to play on there, and it just does not feel like kind of the right thing to do. So again, let me know in the comments. Maybe I'm missing it, but you look at it, it's like Miami, just kind of tough. They're still playing for something. They're still doing their thing. Boom, on the road, Kansas City, back home, Baltimore. So there's travel in there. I think that'd be another thing if they were all 3 at home, maybe. And maybe I'm just a wuss, and that's like not that big a deal, but it feels a little dicey to me. So let's take a look here. I want to look at the playoff picture. I was trying to pull that up here. And where it looks at right now, we're looking at different scenarios, and I think that's really good news is the Texans are clearly right in this thing. And so you've got, if it were to start right now, playoffs were to start right now, the Houston Texans would be the 4th seed, and they'd be playing the Baltimore Ravens. And they're 8-5, and the Chargers are 8-5, Ravens are 8-5, Broncos are 8-5. So there's a bunch of people mixed in there. And then the next teams that are out of the playoffs are actually the Indianapolis Colts and Miami Dolphins. So this is a huge game for the Miami Dolphins, huge game for the Texans this week. But the good news is, with 4 games to go, you've got a 2-game lead on everybody else. You have to win 2 games, and you're in the playoffs. 100%. You could win 1 almost. I mean, depends on what other people do. But my point in saying that is good news. You're late in the season. Maybe this little rough stretch won't be that bad. And I'm making too much of it. But it does feel like a lot. So, okay, another thing that we need to look at, I think it's important, is the injury report. So we know about Petrie. Robert Woods did not participate in practice here as we're getting closer. Limited participation. You've got a couple people that are kind of getting back in there. But the good news for the Texans is, I know you've got injuries. Every NFL team does right now. But you don't have season-ending brutal injuries to too many starters and key players. The reason I say that is because the Lions just straight up do. You know, and again, no one's making excuses. Nobody cares. And I've talked about more about the Lions in this video than I usually do. But you know what I'm saying. It's just like, all things considered, I know you're missing wide receiver. I know you're missing things. Don't get me wrong. But all things considered, you got your quarterback. Defense is generally intact. Let's go. So that's really good. Again, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to us. Especially, I mean, if you're Texans fans, we've been on Texans for a long time on this channel. Again, back before last season, like, man, I think Texans could be good. I think they could be good. They were. That was like we were so pumped about that. We were like, yes, go, baby. We knew we just, yeah. So I love it. And let me just look at this here. A couple other things as we get close to this game. Again, yeah, I think scouting report wise, when you look at the Miami Dolphins, they're just desperate. They have to have this game. They don't win it, their season's over, playoffs are done. If they win it, it's like, ooh, interesting. So again, let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. And yeah, let me know your thoughts, especially on this schedule. We all know it was coming. Now that it's here, it's like, I guess. But hey, man, you know what? You open some gifts Sunday or Wednesday. It's Christmas Day, and you got the Texans coming on. That I get it. That's so cool. I'd love that. So let me know your thoughts, and we'll see all of you on the next one.